howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Remember, no matter who you are valid. And if you are a bigot, well, that's time for some character reflection. Well, son of a gun, it is a brand new day. I have not gone out walkies yet, and it is 1:35. Bright, sunny, kind of warmish. So when I go out for walkies, probably around 5, 6 o'clock, it's going to be nice. That's about the time I went yesterday. I started getting really antsy around 5. So between 5 and 6-ish, I went out for walkies, and it was good. So thumbs up for that. Yay! Hopefully your day has been good. Definitely a good thing. I have some stuff written down up there, and I'm going to talk about them because I like to talk about the things that I've written down to talk about. One of them was, I have not yet got a throw rug for the wheels for the chair. It was a very good idea that somebody, of course, I'm terrible with names, I've forgotten who made the suggestion, but a throw rug, or at least a rug to keep the thing from the chairs, from the wheels on the chair, from just wheeling around too much frequently. So, gonna try that when I can get to Walmart. Now, the plastic on here, I'm still worried about. It looks like there's a little bit of fracture, stress fracturing, but I'm not exactly sure yet. So, gonna keep my eyes open, gonna look into how much a chair, metal folding chair costs at Walmart, just in case, so I have something in case things go south until a new chair can be purchased. So, gonna look into that, so thumbs up. But still, I'm pretty pleased with the chair. It's nice. I just don't want it to break anytime soon. But the other things I have up here on this list. This is one of the things I did want to talk about. I mentioned yesterday how I was getting packages expected from The Game Crafter, a place where you can get games. Now, it can be completely amateur games, or they can be people who are more professional, but even at that, it's not a whole lot of professionalism necessary. Some of my favorite games, like Iron Helm and Tin Helm and all that, are done by one guy. Grey Gnome, I think his name is Jason Glover or something like that, but he's just the one guy. And he does his games, and Game Crafter does all the printing stuff, part of it, takes their commission, and it works out. So, one of the things that I had gotten was, I'm having to move things so I can more easily do this, was something called Solo Venture. And they had Solo Venture, the Mad Wizard, well, something Wizard something, and or there was the Warlock's Dungeon, and like the Mad Queen something or other. And so I ended up getting all two of the only two real decks they have, and then an expansion deck. Now, I didn't read reviews before I picked it up. These look nice. I haven't played them. The reviews, not very good. But I have frequently found that with some things, I like what others hate, and I hate what others love. So who knows? I mean, I can see some valid complaints. Like there's this one. There are only three items that you can find while you're adventuring, and 2 of them are the same thing. So you're going to be just finding creatures and traps. That's kind of... But I'm going to play it. I'm going to see. And the expansion adds a shop. The shop adds a whole bunch more items. So the expansion works out well. Now, can you do mix and match with them? Probably. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far into it. You could probably put them all together as one big thing. But the other thing that I got was another deck for Dungeon Runner. Now, Dungeon Runner has like 12 or so of these decks, or like 9, 10, something like that. And each one of them is a whole bunch of adventures that you can make up on your own, and there are quests in the rules for each of the decks. These are the 3 beginner decks. Whammo Crasho. 3 beginner decks that you can have for this, and so I've got all 3 of these. The one irritating thing about it, doesn't come with rules. No printed rules. That makes sense. You know, that saves space in the box. The rules that they have on the Game Crafter website, where you buy the game, are not the latest rules. If you go to Board Game Geek and you look up Dungeon Runner, you can find a link to the most recent rules. But unless you do that, you're not going to have the most recent rules. So that was fun. But the most recent rules incorporate a whole bunch of user-added stuff as well to add campaigns and character progression, stuff like that. But I also wanted to show off this game. At a distance, this is the art on the cards. This game gets very good reviews on Board Game Geek. So there's a difference in things there. You can't. The lucky coin of Jib. When you take a hit that'll kill him, roll a d10. On a 6 or more, you're restored to 1 health point. And then, of course, oh, come on, focus. Focus. The Dwarf Killer. A bag of gold. And the character that comes with this game, the Amazon Warrior. And they each have their own monsters, traps, stuff like that, and characters. And these one days, they do encourage you to play mix and match and make up your own stuff. And they encourage you to, yeah, mix and match. When I say mix and match, it's like between decks. So thumbs up for that. Yay! I'm glad they came out with a second set of rules because it really helped figure out stuff. In the rules that you can get on the Game Crafter, it says there's a top deck and a bottom deck. You put the bottom deck this way, you put the top deck this way, and I was like, why? There wasn't really a big difference. Now you put the bottom deck here, and then you just put the top deck right on top of it. No differentiation between the two. That's better, because there is no real differentiation between the two. I don't know why they made a big deal out of it at first. But I want to play this one as well for the channel, I hope. I mean, these are just, you flip over cards, so it's not exactly that tough. So thumbs up on that. Now, in a way though, they are different. You don't use the full sets for a lot of these things. The bottom deck is like just 15 cards, and then the top deck can just be another 15 cards. So it's not a gigantic dungeon. Though it can be. All up to you. Thumbs up for that. What else do I have up here? Oh! This one's just a sort of side thing. I watched a video about this today. And I've seen a couple videos about this today. Where yesterday in the United States, with what happened with the parade in Washington, D.C., that was horrible. At the same time, having been in the military and having listened to what these people had to go through, when you took a look at them and you saw that they weren't marching very well, they didn't look all that good, our troops out there marching in this parade. We have dedicated drill teams that look good to do this sort of thing. They train all the time. For a regular, just a parade, military parade, it takes months of work, training, marching, making sure you got this down. These people didn't have anywhere near that. So yeah, when you compare it to other authoritarian countries and their professional marching squads, our display of military might with just regular troops didn't look all that hot. I would hate to be any of the troops that had to be out there marching, and what any of the squads and individuals are going to have to face because of this. It's not their fault, but of course, again, they're going to be taking the brunt of this. There was apparently a very nice sort of celebration that would have gone all across the country with displays where people would have come in and seen like museum art exhibit type displays of what's happening. And instead, all of that was scrapped for something that ended up just being an embarrassment and a humiliation. But then that's typical for what's going on in the country right now, so what else can we expect? Joy. Anyway, I play an internet game of Marco Polo of sorts, where I call out a secret word, and then I listen to see if anyone calls it back when I can English, by writing it down in the comments. For two reasons: blatant engagement farming, and also I'm listening, and it's kind of cool to hear back when people say back the secret word in the comments. It's nice, and I appreciate it. Is it required? No, it's not mandatory. In fact, if you don't want to play, don't even feel that. You shouldn't. It's completely voluntary. And the people who played last time, Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. It's really not one, thumbs up and thank you. Definitely. Chris, I have definitely nothing against you. It was just that profile picture that was like, oh. I was worried about, whether or not you were going to get deleted too, because YouTube is, so just be careful. You don't need to vanish. You don't just not need to stop commenting. So thumbs up. Calicoy, thumbs up. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Then we had a name that was written entirely in, it looks like, I can't remember. I wrote it down. Well, I didn't write it down. I copied the name, put it into Google Translate, and had it detect language. And I believe it was Chinese or simplified Chinese, something like that. But the Google Translate says vomiting statistics. That might be just artistic license, or it could be your actual username. If you are watching, thumbs up, thank you very much. I'm sorry that I've butchered everything with my talking about your name, but I greatly appreciate it. And is vomiting statistics an accurate translation? That's the word I was looking for. I am on the net, thumbs up and thank you, greatly appreciated. Gus Garrett, 6838, thumbs up and thank you. And Sir Schmuckle, greatly appreciated. Always good to see you and anybody in the comments, but definitely 8 thumbs up. Yay! Greatly appreciated. So hokey smokes. Yeah, I have tried to work on various things. I am still, of course, thinking on my Inside, Outside, Razor's Edge, Cosmic Horrors, Multiverse, Cosmology, all of this stuff, and of course my beloved Broken Cryptids, as much and as often as I can, as well as trying to think of various other types of things just to write, because I still I still, while having given up, and not in a bad way, because people change, but having given up on my dreams of being a published writer, paid published writer, since I've been a published writer throughout the years, I just haven't been paid for it. Since I've sort of given up on that, I still write things every once in a while. I try to write, number one, normal fiction, and number two, vor fiction. So there's that. And I'm still, of course, thinking about the Habani, Apani, and Orkani peoples and the various ways that they interact with not only each other, but the Dwaylen and the Goya as everybody continues to intermix. Boy, I saw a big... My camera is not liking the way my hands reflect and block the light there. Thumbs up. So, still working on all that, a very good thing. And, of course, really quick, on Utokk, more on Utokk. One of the things that happens when Utokk eats someone, basically they get a down to the quantum level recording of that person. And they had discovered long ago when they first started eating human beings that if they chose, they could build a body. And it's dead. Well, actually, dead is not a real term because the bodies that Utokk can recreate were never alive. So they're not really dead. But they're not alive. They're just unliving meat. You know, the blood is like jellied inside of the veins and arteries. There are no chemical or electronic signals that happen. They're just there. But Utokk, when he had built these, discovered that in the process of putting them together, emergent properties, one of the things that happens is there are like two openings on a different level into these bodies, like a battery compartment and just a hole that's like a plug. Well, Utokk has smudged some energy into what looks like the battery compartment on our side, and that wakes up these bodies. And they're alive in that they are functioning, but the bodies are dead. No signals, no chemical reactions. There can't be, but the bodies are moving. Emergent properties. There is an extra universal nervous system that makes the body move without actually any signals or such from here. Muscles contract and do things without any signals because there's that extra universal nervous system that's running stuff. Later on, Utokk really got into trying to push something into the socket. Utokk has about 1,000 points of attention, whereas the kaiju has like tens of thousands of points of interest. The being known as Utokk has about 1,000. Each of these are, when you're focusing your attention. Utokk can do that to 1,000 points without any sort of, I'm overextending my attention and multitasking. No, that's not multitasking for Utokk. But that one point of attention that was playing with these meat things, which is about, when it pushed that tendril inside of that body, they found themselves within the confines of that skull. About 0.5% of that point of attention, which is 1,000th of what Utokk is, and finding themselves within the confines of a human skull was amazing. Given that, with all of the limitations of the human form, And then with all of the sensory input that comes in, that is something that Utokk has not experienced before. The limitations and all of the sensory input from those limitations. If you interface with them, I can English, on their relative level, as we do, it is amazing. And Utokk spends a lot of time in one of these bodies, that point of attention. Utokk, well, I'll get into how he got his favorite body tomorrow, because it's one of those ways that Utokk is able to poke at the crimson, the king in crimson, because it's not a good body in that sense. But call for action. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very cool. Deeply appreciated. And for each and every one of my Patreon patrons, you are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up and thank you. Without your help, life would be more difficult. I'd still survive, but it would be a lot more difficult. So you help out this old man a lot, and it is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. For every person that leaves me a comment, you two are beautiful and awesome in your own way. It is appreciated. So thumbs up. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. I can English. I trust you. I can English. I promise you. Though you are well within your rights to doubt that entirely after listening to me today. Holy smokes. So thumbs up on that. I am going to do the best I can to take care of myself, and hopefully you will do your best to take care of yourself. And if you have watched this far, if you could write runner into the comments for, again, 2 reasons. Number 1, blatant engagement farm, and number 2, runner, and now I'm listening to hear if anyone calls back. So if you decide to play, thumbs up and thank you. And if you don't, well, again, that's awesome as well. I wouldn't force people to play even if I had the power to. Consent is important. So if you choose not to, thumbs up. And if you choose to, well, thumbs up for that. And hopefully I'll see runner in the comments. Greatly, greatly appreciated from everybody who plays. And of course, what game have I been playing? Hands of Necromancy 2. So I'm really going to have to bump up the brightness on this one. It's dark. It's a dark game. So thumbs up on that. Past that though, I'm going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself, play video games, go on walkies, play one of these, I certainly hope. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done, because that would be very, very cool. But if not, please do not beat yourself up. You deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very, very good thing.